Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Biblical Prepping. I'm Judith Garton, and today is a day for rotating some of our products in our freezer and pantry. Well, what are we going to do? Well, I've been going through the different things, pantry, freezers, refrigerators, and finding things that need to get used up quick. So I found a bag of frozen sauerkraut. Now, I made this sauerkraut myself. It is homemade. I fermented it, and then I ran out of room in the refrigerator, so I drained it, packed it up, and froze it in the freezer so it last fall, so it needs to get used up. We cooked our Thanksgiving turkey in, of all times, February, because we weren't in the mood for it in November, so we cooked it up in February, and we have a couple of leftover turkey thighs. So what we're going to do today is using a loaf of homemade sourdough bread, which I made from my experimental sourdough loaf. This is more of a dough rather than a sourdough starter. So this is actually a sourdough. It needs to get fed today, so we'll have some more discard from that. And I will try and do another video maybe tomorrow if I have time, or later today, on what I'm going to do with the discard. I haven't actually decided yet, so we'll be doing that. So what are we having today with what we rotate? One of the things I wanted to go over with you is I want you to think of something that you haven't had in a while. Something that maybe you haven't been able to go out to a restaurant and get because prices are going up so high. We enjoy going out for turkey Reubens. And I just so happen to have half a block of Swiss in the refrigerator. So we are going to take this old turkey thigh. I'm going to heat it up a little bit in the oven for just about 15 minutes maybe. Get it unfrozen because I didn't get it out first thing this morning. And then I'm going to take the meat off the bone. So that's going to go in the oven. We're going to take the meat off the bone, toss it in the pan with the sauerkraut, heat that all the way through, make it nice and yummy. And then we are going to have turkey Reubens on our homemade sourdough bread. It's so easy to rotate your food products. If you go through your products once a month even once every 6 weeks, and just check to see what's approaching the expiration date. Last week we had a delicious ravioli dinner from a package of shelf-stable ravioli that I found in the pantry, that was expiring. Another thing, I had a couple of cans of crushed tomatoes that were getting ready to expire. And I say expire, but remember, that's the best buy date on all the products. And it was approaching those dates, and so I took 8 cans and I made a big batch of spaghetti sauce. We call it gravy. And I now have an entire flat of canned spaghetti sauce for the pantry. So now we have that can all done, and it can go in the pantry, and anytime we want any kind of Italian meal, we've got the gravy ready to rock and roll. That's all you need to do to rotate your food products. Also, last night, a helpful hint, all those dried vegetables that you have, what are you going to do with those? Last night we had a delicious, yet a little funny, I'll explain why. I used my Pampered Chef cooking blender right back here, and right near the end of the Shabbat, I threw in a can of homemade chicken broth. In there, a little extra water. I threw in half a jar of dehydrated asparagus from last year that needs to get rotated. Set the soup setting, and a little tiny bit of my favorite bouillon that I have right now, that is the Knorr bouillon. I put a little bit of that in there as well. That compensated for any missing salt. Let the blender run for its cycle, which was about 40 minutes, and then I added a dollop of sour cream, some whole milk, and I had steamed some frozen asparagus that also needed to get rotated out of the freezer from last year. And it all went, when the blender was done, I poured in the steamed asparagus into the blender, stirred it up gently a little bit, and then served our soup. It was delicious. We had soup and salad last night with chicken on top of the salad. Those are some of the great, easy ideas for you to rotate your food storage. It's not complicated. Just use it. And if you're using what you store and store what you use, you'll always be able to create great meals. I hope this has helped you guys. I'll show you some pictures as I go through. I'll take a couple more videos of cooking things up, and then we'll show you the finished product at the end. Don't forget, you want to subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm going to give you more helpful hints throughout the coming year, as well as product reviews and intense lessons about biblical prepping. I hope this has helped, and blessings and shalom.